the way live. Okay, this is Cleta Colson-Eyre. It is good to see everybody. And those of you that are watching this live, you will notice the sales directors are looking mighty fine. Mighty fine. And so, okay, this is, and so I decided that it's time for us to get back to work. And there's something about putting on your Mary Kay director, your red jacket, or whatever else you work in. Maybe it's your beauty coat. And you're like, okay, I wanted the directors tonight to remember who you are and what our job is and what we do, because a lot of us have been sitting around in t-shirts and whatever, and it's easy to forget. Like, I am a businesswoman, I have a unit, and I have goals, and just that's good enough is not good enough, so if you've ever said to yourself, well, that's good enough, what that means is I'm stopping short of the goal and what I really want to do. I'm just going to stop short, and it's just going to have to be good enough, right? And we've all done this in different things. Maybe you're outside walking, and you decide you're coming back, and you're like, you look at like today, I looked at my watch, it said 1.87. I really wanted to go 2 miles. And I was walking with Brad, and I said, oh, well, that's good enough. And we just went on back to the house, and then I thought, that is so lame. That's awful. Good enough is not okay, And so tonight I asked the sales directors to put on their director suit, and each of them are going to get to talk in a few minutes, because we're going to give you some tips on team building, because it's time to get back to work. It's time to, not that we haven't been doing stuff, y'all, but it's time to start building our team again. I know there's no Destination Red Cruise in a few minutes, but y'all, we know how to team build, and we know how to team build right now, even in all of this. And we're just not asking anybody, because if we were, the same results, one out of 3 for directors, 1 out of 5 for consultants, it's the same thing right now. And so I want to just encourage everybody. So today I thought, and I want to talk about motivating people. I can motivate. I mean, sometimes we go, I'm going to go on this call, maybe that'll motivate maybe she'll motivate me. The truth is, people, the only person that's going to motivate you to work is you. I mean, really, that's the truth. You can be inspired, though. You can be inspired by your sales director, by your senior, by your national, by someone in Mary Kay that is where you want to be. And then you have to motivate yourself to go do something. And, I was telling you today, after I listened to 2 services, and after I did, I listened to my home church, and then Brad had, which is a Central Avenue Church of Christ. And then Brad, he goes, I want you to pull up something on YouTube, because we were streaming to the TV. And he said, pull up Prestonwood Baptist Church. I said, okay. So I pulled it up, and I said, he goes, yeah, he said the president had talked about that he had listened or was going to watch it or something like that. And the Texas governor got on there, and he talked for a few minutes, and he's a Christian, and he is in a wheelchair. He, at 20-something years old, he got in an accident, and he has been in a wheelchair since then. But you know what? He said God worked in his life, and he kept going. And, he said, and here I am, the governor of Texas. He said, let God work through you. And I was so proud to see, like, a governor talk about God. Well, anyway, as we were watching it, I said, Brad, you know what church this is? I said, it's the church Mary Kay Ash attended. He goes, really? I said, yes. I said, I'm almost positive. So I had to actually, then you doubt yourself. So then I looked it up, and sure enough, I was right. I was almost positive anyway. And so it was just so cool, because way back in the day, Mary Kay, they were trying to raise money for a new building because they were filling it up. And she said, it was just, she thought it was ridiculous that people were not giving to the church to raise money for this building, like that they should. So she said Sunday morning they did a service. And so she thought, you know what? So she called the pastor there, and she said, I'll tell you what, anything that is given by tonight's service, I will match it dollar for dollar. She said, I never had any idea. And I think they said they got the word out and they had $40,000 raised on that Sunday night. And she said, I thought, oh no. She said, that's a lot of money. And it wasn't like, I mean, this was a long time ago, and but she did it. She said she got money I don't remember the whole story. You have to read it in the autobiography, but she matched that money and they built that church. And it inspired all others to, give money. And so it's just cool watching. I'm like, this is Mary Kay Ashes where she went to church. Well, so then I was scrolling and I thought, Brad left, and I thought, what else could I watch? I'm in my pajamas laying on the couch. And so I was looking through YouTube and I saw our 30th year anniversary celebration last February, on February 1st, 2019. And it's when I had been a director for 30 years. And I had Susan Johnson come down, and I had Dawn Alton Sweeney, a national sales director, come down. And our unit was on a big fat roll. And our area was on a big fat roll, and we had a ton of people there. And so I sat there and watched the first whole hour of that, how I honored my mother for giving me the idea and her support through the years, how I honored my sister, and I honored my sales directors, Laurie and Janet and Sayla, and then some director friends of mine, and my recruiter Sandra Bose was there, and I honored her. And and I just listened to myself tell my own story. And I thought, I am motivating myself sitting here listening to myself. And I know everybody doesn't have a video of them, up there doing something like that, but I want you to remember a time in your Mary Kay career that you were fired up, that you were just like, you were on a roll. You were selling a ton, you were recruiting a ton, you were like, nobody could stop you, because you're like, I am doing it. And you were determined, and it didn't matter what was happening. You're like, I'm doing it. And I saw that last year, this time, because there were several of you, they're like, oh, I'm winning that cruise. I don't know how, but I am going to earn that cruise. I'm going to do it. And so all of a sudden, people started recruiting out of the woodwork. And what happened is we started asking more people. And so we started developing red jackets, not only ourselves in our own red jacket. In fact, we had to get 6. Then we had to get 3 of our team members in red. And we did it. Many on this call tonight did that very thing. And some of you that didn't do it, guess what? You got really close, and you got several team members, and you were almost there and got more than you normally had. So I was just thinking about, I know we're not out of the woods with the coronavirus. We can't go and do a Mary Kay skincare party live yet, but many of us have been plugging along through here, but we've also been giving ourselves a little bit of a break and saying, and what happens is you're like, well, that's good enough. I mean, I did get on the calls. That's not good enough. Okay. Yes, you got to get on the calls, but here's the deal. Like when there's calls that involve guests, you need to invite some people to get on there. I'm saying this to myself too. The times that I've had people on there, I've made money. The times I haven't had people on there, I've had a good time. And a good time is good. It's good to have a good time. But I think if we were a little more intentional about our guests and really making those personal phone calls, those personal texts, and say, can you be my guest tonight? I'm looking for 5 guests for a call that we're doing tonight. Or I'm looking for 20 guests. I mean, the great thing about it is you don't have a limit. You don't have to have that many mirrors, right? You can just get them there. And then with recruiting, I've been doing marketing calls every Friday at 11. But you can do them your own. There's videos you can have people watch. Are you even asking anybody? Has anybody told you no? So a good friend of mine, Stacy Faust, she's $1 million director and doing fabulous. She's from Arizona. And she and several of my top director girlfriends and their husbands and I, we do a little, a happy hour, whatever you want to call it, on Saturday nights. We have for 3 weeks in a row. It's hilarious, y'all. But anyway, the girls get on there early to talk Mary Kay because the guys get tired of it. No problem. So we got on there, and one of the things Stacy does is she challenged her unit and herself to get 10 no's in a row. 10 no's in a row. Let 10 people tell you no, that they will not get on a call. They will not sign up and sell Mary Kay. She was using it mainly for team building, but you could do it for both. 10 no's in a row. not just people that don't answer you, people that go no. They have to actually say, no, I will not get on that call. A no answer is not a no. That's just, I don't even know what that is, right? So I'm going to challenge you guys this week to get 10 no's in a row. And if you get a yes, you have to start back over. I know. And you can even tell them, say, I have a challenge for my director to get 10 no's in a row. And so I'm just asking you if you would like to get on this call. Now, she may say no and go, well, there you go. Here's your no. But, or you can take a piece of paper and not actually tell her that, but you can know yourself. And then if you get a no, it's no big deal because that was your challenge to get 10 no's in a row, right? And so I guarantee you'll probably be working on this challenge till June because you almost can't get no's in a row. And even if you did, I'd be proud of you for 10 attempts. I really would, because then you're going to have some yeses right in a row as well. So after I watched an hour of our celebration, then I thought, I'm going to watch a movie. No, excuse me. I decided to go walk. So Brad said he would go with me. So we went and walked our 2 miles. And yes, I just said that's good enough. And I walked 1.87 miles. But anyway, at least I closed my little ring on my watch and my phone. And that, if you don't know what that is, then you don't have Apple. But anyway, it's your little exercise ring. And so 30 minutes a day is what, they like you to do. So when we got done, I went and I sat on the couch. I thought, I'm going to watch a movie. I thought, what am I going to watch? And so I thought, I'm going to watch The Greatest Showman. I love that movie. So I watched 2 hours of The Greatest Showman. And between the 2 church services, my 30th year anniversary, and The Greatest Showman, I'm flat fired up. And I thought, you know what? We can get up and do this thing, and we can make April count and not let April just be like, oh, well, that was Corona, and just wipe it out of your life. You didn't do one single thing towards your goals, right? No. So you can get your 600 in and win your B earrings. You can get in that red jacket, and so that you can get your 3 qualified team members so that you can win your red jacket. Who cares? I know we saw that seminar registration is canceled right now, but don't you still want to be in your red jacket when we start having meetings? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't you want the new one? Yes, you do. Would you not like to have to pay for it? I know you wouldn't. So that contest is still out there. So don't forget that was the goal. Okay. So, those 3 qualified teamers, and that's for the directors too. Don't we want this pair of those Kendra Scott earrings? Yes, we do. Why? Because Mary Kay has given it to us. And even though we may not get to go to seminar to get them, and, I'm not sure about that yet because, that Texas governor, I think he's got a little favor. So who knows what we'll get to do. But that's not an excuse to say, well, we're probably not even going to seminar. I'm going to quit working. Well, you know what? What you going to do? Go flip some burgers or something? I mean, wouldn't you no offense if you flipping burgers. I mean, everybody's had jobs like that. But I'm just saying, wouldn't you rather do some Mary Kay and make some money? A glamorous, wonderful career than any other job. I mean, wouldn't you? I know I would. So if you decide just to throw your Mary Kay business away, and then when they finally do open everything up, you'll have to start from ground zero because your customer's going to think you quit because they never hear from you, right? So you want to keep going. Right before this call, I got a text message from one of my best customers, and you can add this up in your mind. A lifting serum. She had a lifting serum, 2 lip glosses, 2 eyeliners, 3 eyeshadows, and an under eye corrector. Is $100 at least. And so I have had a $700 week already, not counting that. So that's probably $800 a week. This last week, 2 of my orders were from that skin analyzer app that I asked my customers to scan their face and share with me their results. And so I've already done some training on that on another call. Well, it went on the Boss Babe call, but anyway, I'm not going to repeat on that. But you guys, that is a game changer for you to send it to your customers, have them scan their face and send the results to you. If you're not familiar with that app, you need to download the app. If you already have it, take it off your phone and re-download it, because there was a little bit of a thing that anyway, just do it. Take it off and put it back on. And then scan your face and then you click every single button that says more. Click every single thing on that app so that you know what it does and that you can use it. Because if you don't know what it is yourself, then how are you going to talk to your customers? And then just recently, I posted a survey for the app that you can ask your girls after they scan their face. So you want to say, can I give you a call? I did this Friday night, and this girl bought $141, all new things that she's never used. I'm so excited about that, you guys. Like the facial peel, the microderm. I mean, it's supplement. She's a customer. Then I had another girl, same thing. She ordered 5 things that she had never tried. And I'm like, I'm loving this. Okay. How easy is that? They didn't even try it. They just read about it. And I showed them, but they had some questions. What order? What do you think I need? And she said, I only have $120 to spend. I'm like, I'll take it. And so it ended up being 141. I go, you want me to take something off? She goes, no, just send it to me. I said, all right. And so she lives in Pennsylvania. She's a customer, used to live here, moved to Pennsylvania. I've been selling, I talked to her on the phone. I've been selling to her for 22 years, you guys. She's not lived in Valdosta for 22 years. I've been mailing it to Pennsylvania. Can you believe that? We couldn't. I said, that's crazy. But anyway, let me see what else I wrote right here. Okay. I have one more thing I'm going to say, then I'm going to turn it to the directors to share, and then I'm going to wrap it up. When I was younger, and I played basketball, I was in high school, and we used to have to run from the gym, and we'd run down this paved road, 1.5 miles or about a mile, and then we had to turn around and run back. And we had to run the whole time, it wasn't a walk. Well, anyway, I one day we were running, and I was running down that road, and I turned my foot on some gravel on the side of the road, and I fell. And I don't know where my teammates were. I don't know if I was so far behind or so far ahead, but whatever it was, I scuffed my knee. It was bleeding. My leg was bleeding, and I hurt my ankle. And I just was laying literally in the ditch. It was like tuck and roll. So I fell, I scraped myself, and I was in the ditch, and I just laid there. And I thought, somebody will come find me in a few minutes. And I just laid there, and I laid there, and nobody ever came. I'm like the Samaritan woman on the side of the road, and no one's coming to help me. And so finally, at some point, I thought, I guess I'm just going to have to pick myself up. So I picked myself up. I went back to the gym, and I walk in there, and they're like, what took you so long? And they looked at my leg. They go, what'd you do? I said, I fell. They go, I wonder what was happening. Well, clean yourself up. Come on. We got practice. And I'm like, all right, and so I cleaned my leg up. You guys put a Band-Aid on it and went back to practice. So later in life, I'm in a house that I had, and nobody was home but me. And I had one of those rugs that should have had one of those rubber things on the bottom, but it didn't. And I go tearing around the corner, and the rug, I just slid, and the rug, I face planted on the wall. Like literally, there's like teeth marks on the wall. I broke my nose a little bit. It's a tad bit crooked because of that. And there's lipstick mark on the wall. And so, you know how sometimes when you fall, what happens, or anyway, we won't talk about that. I had to change my clothes afterwards. I should say that. So I, I busted, I'm down. I felt like I broke my nose and all my teeth were gone. And I just laid there. But guess what, y'all? There wasn't nobody home but me. So what did I have to do? I had to get myself up, change my clothes, and then I just laughed about it and went on with my day. And that's happened to me. I can at least think of 3 other times that I have had something like that I am on the floor thinking somebody will find me. I'll tell you one more, but then I'm going to tell you why I'm telling you this. This was also, I was about 33, and I went to a high school reunion, and we were going to play basketball against the high school girls. And in my mind, I was just as good as I was when I was 18. I'm like, these girls, if I could teach them something, So I get out there, and of course I'm not in shape. And so I'm playing, and I'm about to, and I have asthma. I do have asthma to my whatever. And so I end up going home, and after the game, and I was huffing and puffing. Nobody was there because everybody was at the gym. This was BC, before cell phones. So I start coughing. I have a full blown asthma attack. I am crawling on the floor, literally crawling on the floor to find the corded phone to call somebody, and I can't get anybody to help me because they're all at the dumb gym. And so finally, I got a hold of somebody, ended up going to the blessed emergency room. But I'm saying, and of course, I'm living to talk about it, right? But what I'm saying is, you know what? There are times that you just have to pick your little self back up and don't wait for your director to pick you up. You're national, you're a recruiter. Don't blame anybody else. The rug slipped out from under you because you didn't put the rubber things down, right? You fell on the side of the road because I guess you weren't paying attention. But just pick yourself up, dust your dirt off, clean your blood off, and let's get back in the game. Let's get back to practice and remember who you are. So when I listened to that thing today, and even the show, The Greatest Showman, how he had to start all the way over. And I thought, you know what, Cleta, you had some goals, and you got to get back fired up. And it doesn't matter what's happened this year. It doesn't matter who had done what. You got to get back up and get going. And so I'm ready to get back to work, and I'm going to act like the person that was in that video that had a goal to become a national. And let's get it going, right? Instead of pussyfooting around and not doing anything and laying around in pajamas all day long. So my biggest thing is, and I've been busy, but I know that I need to reach out to more people, to, like, as far as customers, for sales and for recruiting, and to consultants as well. So, I know what I have to do. You're sitting there and you know what you have to do, and you know what you haven't done. And I just think it's time to get a grip so that when the world opens back up, we'll be ready for it. And, Mary Kay is doing some stuff too that's going to be rolling out. Just be ready. I feel like it's coming next week. That's all I can say. Be ready. Be ready. Okay, so hang on just a second. I think I got a little. Yes. Okay, yeah. Jana made a suggestion. She said you could even tell your clients that you've been given a challenge to get 10 people to try the app, which is exactly what I challenged my unit to do. A perfect start with that app. 15 faces. Scan 15 faces for your perfect start. Scan 30 for your power start between now and the end of the month. So I'm going to go ahead and start up here with Laree. And so they're going to take, each of the directors, I think we got about 7, are going to take just 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll go back around again if we have time for some recruiting tips for y'all. And then we'll wrap it up. So we'll start out with Laree, because she is right up here in the front on my row of people.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a few tips on recruiting, and one of the first and foremost things that I recommend on that is to raise your expectancy level. We've been playing a lot of cards at my house during this whole Corona thing, and I have this thing about aces. And my husband and my son, they tease me all the time because I'll hold on to those aces, and they're like, how do you get them all the time? And I tap the deck and I'm like, it's because they come to me. The aces just come to me. And I said, I expect to get it. And then the very next card I drew was a wild card. And so that's one of the things about recruiting, is you've got to get your mindset right, and you've got to expect, you're going to get some no's, but if you go in there expecting them to say no, then, you're doomed from the start. So you've got to really be sold on the business and sold on your own opportunity. And then it's so easy to share that with others when you're on fire about it. Just like Lita said, get your own self up and remember all the great things about it. Now, as far as just functionality on recruiting and what you need to do, I love Julia Burnett's Desire to be a Director. There's Successful Career Chats. There's a whole guide on this. And one of the things that I like about it, I learned a lot from reading this one, is the thing that for me stood out is I like to talk. And so I can talk somebody in and out of Mary Kay about 5 times and during one conversation if it's all up to me. But this one really talks to you about really getting to know the person and asking probing questions, and I'm big on trying to I want you to be honest and transparent. So one thing is share your agenda. Just say, look, I really want to get to know you first, which reminds yourself to do that as well. And then I'm going to see if you have any questions. And so it really does not have to be some long drawn out thing. You don't have to tell them every single good thing about Mary Kay. You want to leave them some things to discover along the way, but ask some probing questions. One of the things that I do in my other job is I do a lot of editing for interviews that people have to do, and try not to ask yes or no questions. Ask questions that are thought provoking, that engage someone in dialogue, such as, what inspired you to meet with me today? Tell me a little about yourself. What's most important to you? Top three. And things like, if you could change anything about your life, what would it be? And just you ask those questions so that you can get an insight into the person. And then you just briefly describe the business, just go over the high points of it. And then you just kind of go from there. If ever in a million years that you would do this, what would it be? Ask them what the things that they would be good about this business. And so, but then the other part of it, as far as just the mechanics of interviewing, you've got to change your expectancy and definitely change the numbers of the people that you talk to. But then ask them questions, find out find out so that then you can tailor the things that you want to tell them about Mary Kay specifically to those things that would appeal to them, their personality type, and that kind of thing. But then you got to remember to close the sale. It's I hate it when somebody won't give me an answer. I would take a no anytime over just this, obscure thing out there in the future sometime. You've got to, if you can't get and one of the things I was taught all the time I've been in Mary Kay is you close with, is there any reason why we can't go ahead and order your kit today? Is there any reason why we can't go ahead and do it? I can pull it up right here on my phone. Can we go ahead and do it now? And so you want to go ahead and close that. But then if they're not ready to right then, get a definitive time frame of when you're going to call them back. And just say, I love doing business and talking with people that are women of their word, and just you ask them questions and things like that to try to overcome their objections and really get to the reason. But the main thing is be willing to get the no, like the challenge that she was talking about. Be willing to get the no, because if it's just some non-answer, you're not going to get the yeses either. And so that's kind of my tip is expect those aces in the hole, because you're going to get some twos and threes and fours in the deck as well. But those aces and those kings and those face cards, they used to say that in any deck of cards, there's 52 cards in a deck, and your face card, those are the yeses, but you've got to get to those lower number cards as well. And so if you ask 52 people, you're going to get, a fourth of those or whatever it is going to be your yeses. But anyway, that's my tip. So
Thank
as
you.
I said, I like to talk, so I could go on and on, but I'll let somebody else do it too.
Thank you, Loree. You know what? I play every now and then Yahtzee on my phone, like late night Yahtzee. It's like dice with buddies. And so I always keep, you roll and you keep what you want. I always keep the sixes. I don't care, because sixes come to me, it's the highest one on there, and I'm not going to throw away a six. So I understand about keeping the aces and getting your sixes. So good job, Loree. Thank you. Okay. Lindy is coming to us via phone, Lindy Blair. So Lindy, you want to share with us for a few minutes?
Hi there. Yeah, I would love to. There's a few things with recruiting. I like to make that after, you show somebody and you're getting to know them, but you want them to feel comfortable and you want them to have fun. And my thing is I always, talk about the business, but I always like to meet up with them again, whether it's that one-on-one, the second appointment, or if they're hosting a party. And that way they get more of a feel by watching you again. And sometimes I've even had people that are the hostess of a party help me out a little bit. Get comfortable with it, enjoy it, have fun. And not only can they see how the facial works, but then at the end, they're watching you close out, that kind of stuff. It gets them a little bit more interested, a little bit more comfortable. And then they think, oh, I can do this. And then as you're talking to them more about it, you want to make sure that you have the main points. You don't want to go into too much detail because then you're going to overwhelm them too much. And then they're going to kind of put up that wall and back away a little bit because you're overwhelming them. It's a lot. Think back, when you started and you're signing up, and there's a lot of information to take in. So just take it slow, step by step, but just focus on the main things you want to share with them. You'll hear a lot of times in Mary Kay, keep it simple, sweetie, just the basics, but the best part about Mary Kay. And you also have to have fun with it. You have to show them how you're enjoying it. When you're confident about yourself, you show it in the way you present yourself. So definitely, I think that's my point.
Okay. And Linda, you're a great recruiter. So I think, what you just said about taking someone with you to your parties, that's exactly how Mary Kay taught everyone to recruit back in the day. And y'all remember I posted that a while back, how she would just, if she had someone like, now this is Mary Kay doing 3 parties a day. So she'd meet a girl in the morning and say, why don't you come with me this afternoon to my next party?
Mm-hmm.
And then she would show her how she got the money and what she did. And by the end, she's like, sign me up. So awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lindy. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Latrice,
Hey,
how you doing? Go ahead.
wait, am I delayed?
No?
Okay, it sounds delayed from here and I look delayed. Okay, good. All right. I'm super excited about my new computer that Cleta has talked me into getting after 25 years. But anyway, I'm getting it on Tuesday. I have some tips and some real deep thought about recruiting. Okay, so y'all just imagine this with me. What if everyone reached one? I know we had that saying in Mary Kay a while back, everyone reach one. Y'all, what would that look like for your team, for your unit, and for Mary Kay, the company? And how amazing would it be, the stories that we could share that happened back in April of 2020 when each one reaches one? So my first tip is, first of all, you have to have courage. And really the courage to reach out to the people that intimidate you. That is who you want on your team. To know that you truly believe that this girl would be awesome and this opportunity would be awesome for her. So have courage and just remember it's in the numbers. Like Cleta shared, it's 1 out of 5 for consultants, 1 out of 3 for directors. And all of us directors would be more than happy to go over some conference calling with you to, not right now, we can't meet, but y'all, we can do the pearls of sharing for y'all, new consultants. We're more than happy to do that. Next is just think about this. It's not about you. It's about them. It is truly about them. And think this day and time, it's more opportunities right now for people. We have got so many people laid off. And we've also got people, we know they're going back to work, but y'all, we just give them hope and joy. And I think we need to really think about that as we're making out our list of people and reaching back through our customers and new people that we're going to meet or new people that we want to talk to. And I kind of took this from Cleta. I decided I need a nap on Sunday afternoon. And so right before I took my nap, I was praying. I said, dear Lord, what are the tips that I can give people tonight on this call? And crazy, but y'all, it just really has resonated with me. Went to sleep, woke up, and the first word that came to my mind was non-refundable. And I'm sitting here going, what does this mean? And so I thought about it. I sat on the sofa. And so this is what it means. In money, it means you can't get it back. Okay? You can't get it back if something says it's non-refundable. Also, it means it is was non-refundable, and it's also non-exchangeable in any kind of circumstances. So when we think about all the lessons that we have learned through Mary Kay, y'all just think about it. Even if you've been in for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 27 years, think about the stuff that came from your starter kit not materialistic things, but joy, the encouragement, the inspiration, the growth, the girlfriends, the trips, the women of influence, all the experiences that have came to you already, and the more things that are fixing to come to you through this Mary Kay journey. And y'all, that just resonated with me. You know, I just feel like we're spoiled in Mary Kay, and we're used to all this, and we have fun. We have real girlfriend fun. We have a lot of fun in Mary Kay. And I just wanted to share that with y'all, because I think we need to think about other people and helping them build their dreams. And I know that probably sounds crazy, but it is non-refundable. We cannot go back and take all that back from us. Mm-hmm. We have that. So many people don't have what we have in Mary Kay. So I just want y'all to share this business. And I'm like Cleta, you can't get 10 no's. There's no way. So that's our challenge. I love that, 10 no's.
All right. You know what? The thing, when you say non-refundable, what I was thinking of is like the month of April 2020. You're not going to get it back. It's non-refundable. Like the first 19 days of this month, we're not going to get back. And so let's don't squander the last 11 days. You know, so I love that. Thank you, Latrice.
Right.
You've been in the business a long time, just like me, and you have a lot of wisdom, and you're a great recruiter, and I can see why. So thank you so much, sister. Love you. Okay, Sayla.
Love you.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I wanted to tell you that when I was in school at SMU in Dallas, I used to attend Prestonwood Church. Back in the day in 1980, when I was a freshman at college, my roommate was a girl from Arkansas, and we were like, well, where can we go to church? And we would go to Prestonwood back then. Yeah, and so and then I was going through some stuff today, and I found the agenda to your celebration weekend. So that's, I don't know, complete confirmation of all the papers, and for you to mention that tonight.
Wow.
But I wanted to just, as far as recruiting goes, I brought this flower in tonight. See how beautiful it is?
Yes.
And I wanted to ask everybody, how does your garden grow? And what is planted in your garden? And, you know, we all in Mary Kay, we've talked about fun, we've talked about our life really, and how the time is not refundable. But, you know, we all have goals, but what seeds are we planting to reach those goals? And certainly with this beautiful flower, you know, if I planted turnips, I would not have these beautiful geraniums. You have to plant the seeds that you want, and you have to plant a lot of seeds. And then you have to water the seeds and fertilize the seeds. And those flowers look like they do because I use bloom boosters. You know, and it does help a lot. So you have to give you have to nurture your flowers in order for them to grow. And so I think with our goals, sometimes we say, and in recruiting, we say we want 5 people, but then we don't really do anything, like where the Lord's not going to drop them down, right? And so there was a time when I got gold medal after bronze medal. And what I would do is I would make a list of people, and I would send them a video, or I would do a face, and we would watch a video right there before I closed out the sale. And there are so many great videos, especially in this, you know, today we have, Cleta's got several, a lot of the directors have videos, the nationals have videos. I used to show Gloria Mayfield Banks the Magic Happens video, and we would sit and watch the whole thing. It's, you know, 15 minutes long or so. And then I would just say, I would ask them, what do you think? And, you know, a lot of times we're busy talking about Mary Kay, but we're not really getting to the heart. You know, a lot of people that have good jobs are not interested in the money, but maybe they'll see the girlfriends or hear Cleta or someone talking about the fun and the trips that we take. So, but you have to plant a lot of seeds, and that once you plant the seed, you send the video, you may not get the answer right then, but when you plant the seed, to grow the flower, you don't get a geranium that looks like that overnight. You just have to plant and keep planting and wait for the harvest to come. But it's not going to come if you don't plant it. Now, the other thing in your garden is, I don't know if you, in South Georgia, we have a lot of this growing right now. It is weed. It is this, it turns into this big, thick, really, it just turns my stomach. I'm not finding any in my yard tonight because I make sure mine are cut down because they grow fast. They, you don't have, this is something that you don't have to plant. It just, all of a sudden you look and boom, it's up and growing. And it will choke out a geranium that looks like this or anything else that is blooming and life-giving. It grows fast and it kills. And when I look at that, I think about self-doubt. It discourages. When we were on the call this weekend with Dawn's Unlock call, she talked about the 4 Ds. That first of all, you get distracted. That's what your weeds do. Then the distractions cause a delay. Then once you've gotten delayed, you're discouraged, and then it destroys. And so this weed will outgrow, and without any fertilizer, without any bloom booster, it will outgrow any effort that flower has made. And so you have to stay plugged into the calls and all the things that are offered to us in order to continue to be in the mindset to team build, because there are people that are waiting for our opportunity. We just are sitting here thinking there ain't nobody that wants this right now because everybody's, checked out for April and oh my goodness, now they're saying May. But what I say is God is able to move people, and there are people waiting. We just have to, like she said, get the no's. Who cares? A no is something. A no is moving you towards a yes for sure. I mean, there's no doubt that if you ask enough people, you will. I mean, like I said, I got gold medal, bronze medal, and I just had a constant flow of people that I was talking to, facialing, and I didn't care who they were, where they came from. I was not to be the judge. I do fully believe that we need to get ready because we're going to look, instead of being focused on today and what's happening, I think before we can blink an eye, we're going to be in the midst of this whole thing breaking open. And if your office isn't organized and if your lists aren't made, then we're going to be behind. We are going to have been sitting here this time and be behind. As crazy as that sounds, because other people are moving. And I started last week. I just thought, what? I have gotten so soft on myself that I started a challenge. My daughter texted to me and she said, Mom, this is not for you, but she sent it to me and to my 3 kids. My daughter sent it to my boys, really thinking that the boys would start it. And so I said, all right, I'm doing it. And it's something called 75 Hard, where for 75 days in a row, there's a little short list of things you have to do. One is to drink a gallon of water every day. And I told my husband, I said, at the end, I will have drank 75 gallons of water. Is that enough for a swimming pool? But anyway, if you miss one of the 4 or 5 things, you have to start again. And so you have to really be committed. And I think in Mary Kay, I've said this to Cleta before, that we set goals, and yes, we can change the date, but y'all, why are we saying that? We need to set the goal and hit the goal, because there's other goals and I say that to myself because of the Cadillac sitting right there. I found a paper when I found the agenda that from 2012, when I said I was going to earn that Cadillac. Y'all, that is, so yes, I can set goals and walk it or run a marathon and all that mess, but you know what? I have let myself off the hook way too many times. And so I have drawn a line in the sand. For my 75 Hard, I added some Mary Kay things that and I'm not going to miss, because trust me, I do not want to start over. But Anyway, I just encourage you to plant good seeds in your garden, water them, fertilize them, because, one seed produces, like one seed produces many, many, many flowers. And it may not be that one person you're trying to recruit, but maybe she'll lead you to a whole line of people. Okay, that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. I love the whole analogy, because everybody I know here, we can definitely, those weeds are a pain in our butt. So we need to, and they do take over if you don't pull them up. So
That's right.
anyway, I just love everything you said, Selah. And it's funny about the goals, because I had a pillowcase the other night, and it had a rim on it, and I would wake up like it had a little around the edge. Okay, a real pretty pillowcase. But then I'd wake up and I'd have this line because I'm sleeping on the edge of that pillowcase. So I'm like, I gotta get a new pillowcase. So I went and I found one that zipped, that has no. So guess what it says? NSD 2014. And I'm like, you just need to get your tail back in gear and get on this thing before you're 400 years old, And then when I listen to myself and you introduced me on our video today, I'm like, And Susan Johnson got up there and says, I know she's going to do it. I'm like, where is that girl? Let's bring her back out. Put your suit back on. Act like you know what you're doing. Okay. Thank you, Selah. Excellent. Excellent training. Okay. Let's go Rosie, and then we'll go Jenna.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm so excited because I finally have a new computer, and I'm a little bit glary, but other than that, we figured out what was wrong with my other one. My son-in-law replaced the screen because it broke and he didn't have it lined up right. So that's why you can see like half of me. And so it was driving me nuts to be on an iPad the last few weeks. But anyway, there have been so many, many, many great tips. A lot of things that have already been said, I've had down, but I think a couple things. One is, I think when you are asking those questions, you're going to find out so much about that person's personality. And, some people are going to be ready to recruit right on the spot. D's and I personalities, they may recruit right then. But a lot of people, they really do need that layering. And if you're not sure what layering is, talk to your director about that, because I think that's super important. The other thing was, when somebody tells you no, try not to get discouraged. I mean, I found out that in the past that no means sometimes that it's just not the right time for them. No means maybe they're scared. No means they don't have the money. No means maybe they're okay staying broke. And some people that's just how they are. No might mean they want you to convince them. And I think, don't just walk away from a no, dig deeper. And I think that the art of overcoming objections is so huge. And for me, that, especially when I first started, I felt like I was going into the interview, full of passion for what I was doing. I thought I was talking too much. I learned that, don't talk so much. But one other thing was, when we would kind of get to the end and I would pull that trigger and ask the question, when they said no, and they would tell me why, I just go, oh, I mean, I think that overcoming objections is so huge. And I think you need to get good at it. And I know when I was in DIQ, and a lot of the calls were, they were calls, not face to face. And I literally around me had, papers with objections and how to overcome them. So seriously, if somebody said, I don't have enough time, I'm looking at what do I say when they say that, and I got to where I kind of memorized those, and I got better at it. And I think that when you are better at it, you're just going to be more confident. And I think, I don't know, whether I've read somewhere or it's just, or what, but sometimes they give you an objection and you'll overcome that objection, and then they'll give you another one, and then you overcome that one. It's usually like the third or fourth objection that usually is the real reason. And that's why you really need to dig deeper. So study those objections, how to overcome the objections. If you don't have anything that tells about that, ask your director, because I'm sure she's got all kinds of files about how to overcome objections. And then the last thing is, it is just the numbers. And, math is not my favorite subject, but it doesn't matter. I thought that, at the beginning, I thought did numbers really matter? Yeah, they really matter, and I think once you realize that, you find out that, or you realize that it's not you. It's just how things work. It's not anything you necessarily did wrong when you've talked to 2 people and neither one will recruit. It's just you haven't talked to enough people. So go talk to more people and don't prejudge. That's another huge thing. Don't prejudge. So anyway, those are my 2 cents.
Okay. Thank you very much, Miss Rosemary. And I'm so glad that you got your new computer. Y'all know that makes me excited because I'm a geek. So, okay. Oh, and Katie, let's go Katie first, and then Jana will let you wrap it up. Okay. Katie, you want to have something to add? You probably have recruited the most people in the last 6 months because you're a new sales director.
Yes. So I guess my recruiting tip, I just want to mimic everything everybody else said because you guys have such great things to offer. I want to tell something that I just kind of picked up yesterday. I have a very, very dear friend of mine who was laid off yesterday from a great company in Kansas City. And we've been friends since we were 6 years old. And she has always supported my business. She's always purchased product from me. She's been, well, I would say, I guess maybe she's been in and out of that part of my life. But yesterday, I don't know what it was, but as soon as we got off the phone, I was like, Katie, why did you not talk to her about what you've got going on? Because I always coach my girls about, we have a gift and we've been asked to give it away. And I mean, you have no idea how it could bless someone else's life. Like what Rosie just said, do not prejudge because you truly have no idea. And so I called her back and she's like, what's going on? And I said, I just want to know, would you ever consider talking more about Mary Kay with me and what it means for my life and what it's done for my family? Because I've only let her in a little bit because of my own fears and my own things that hold me back. And she was like, I have been waiting for you to ask me. And I'm like, for how long? So it was such an eye-opening experience, guys. I had so many prejudgments and things blocking my mind about her because she's an introvert. She is so down to earth and she's such a genuine person, but she's very much like she has her own things that she loves. And so I, of course, went ahead and decided she'd never do anything like this. Well, that was not my decision to make at all. And so she's still contemplating, she's still deciding, but we're going to talk more about it tomorrow because she's like, well, tomorrow's my first day of not being employed. So she has lots of time on her hands. So anyway, I just want to tell you that people who are on your chicken list, because my amazing senior director, Janice Strunk, always told me to have my chicken list of ladies who scare the tinkle out of me, if you will, and are intimidating and who I would love to have on my team, but I would never, I get nervous to talk to. Have that updated all of the time because I have once or twice or maybe a lot of times asked people on my chicken list and I have been surprised every time. I don't know why I keep getting a surprise, but I'm surprised every time that they say yes, or they say maybe, or they say, well, ask me again in a month. And then it comes to fruition. And what yesterday was just such an eye-opening thing for me. And my husband, who's such a methodical thinker, he's like, well, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, she can save on her products and she can make some cash on the side. And I'm like, okay, well, where were you, 6 months ago? But anyway, so I would say, that chicken list has really pushed me outside of my comfort zone, and it's really helped me break down my own barriers in my mind and work through fears. And yesterday I had another breakthrough, and I'm super excited to close her and to make this happen and do life with her in more ways than what we've already done. And so God has a lot planned, I'm sure of it. And so that's another thing is I was actually on a virtual beauty experience tonight, and I always like to share in the beginning. It's just my virtual party that about Mary Kay Ashton, about my own I story. And these last 6 months, as you just said, Cleta, I have had to keep my priorities in line because the Lord is basically continues to tell me, Katie, would you just let me show up? Like, stop trying to take the reins, stop trying to drive the car. And so I was telling my ladies tonight that I've had to do that over and over and over again. And just like yesterday, I did it again, and he showed me, and like a small little voice in my heart was like, okay, now let me do what I really want to do with this relationship in this situation. She's not a believer, and she strayed away a long time ago. And so I don't know what he has in store, but that's just the beauty of this, guys, because we have such a gift to give away. And that's how I want to continue to view it. And it's not up to me what they do with their business. It's my job to coach them through and to mentor them. And I'm so glad that I have amazing mentors like you, amazing ladies, to help me with that. It's really his job. It's his job to, help her decide, and hopefully he guides her path. So yeah, that's really all I have to share.
Katie, I'm so proud of you. First of all, I see that you've stepped up your makeup game tonight. Kudos, your makeup looks amazing. And second, you know how we talk about, Mary Kay always said, pretend people have a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. So this week, I want y'all to pretend people have a sign around their neck in your mind, even if you don't see them in person, that says, ask me about a Mary Kay career. Invite me to be on your team. And if you thought every single person that buys from you, that you see in the neighborhood, that you comes to your mind, had a sign that says, please ask me to be on your team, then you would feel a little different when you call them, because you'd feel like, because isn't it easy when someone sends you a text message and says, I'm just thinking about Mary Kay a little bit. Well, boy, you love calling those people back, right? Because they ask you. And then when they don't do it, sometimes it's frustrating, but you know what? Don't forget about those people, because if they ever ask, they want to do it. You just have to keep following up. So thank you, Katie. Excellent, excellent. Okay, Jana, Shine Queen. Hang on, girl. All right, there you go.
Hey, I hope that I can convey everything properly, because y'all have me so stirred up tonight. So like if I get riled up, it's because it's your fault, because y'all got me so stinking stirred up. This could be your launching pad. This could be the time. If you're in a race, are you going to wait for everybody else to catch up to you? Or are you going to get that head start? This is the time, you guys. This is the moment when everybody's maybe in the fetal position, sucking their thumb and saying, I don't know what to do. Yes, we do know what to do. And so it's our time. Okay, I got to ask you this, because this has just been on my heart. Last week was Easter. And I want you to imagine about your 8-year-old self, Easter weekend back then. Mm-hmm. And you're at an Easter egg hunt, and your mama or your daddy or your aunt or your whoever, your sister, hands you your Easter basket, and you're lined up on the line. And you're looking at those Easter eggs. You're like, oh, which one's got the money in it? Which one's got the good candy in it? Which are the best eggs out there? Or were you just sitting there looking around like, I don't know what to do? No, you were ready. So get that competitive self out. Mm-hmm. Pull up your big girl panties, and you get ready to fight, and you get ready to run, and you get competitive, because competitive is not bad. I am so stinking competitive, and it is good. It's okay to be good. And you know what? If you don't go get those good Easter eggs, somebody else will.
That's right.
So there are people that are going to join Mary Kay. Will they be on your team because you asked them? Or are they going to be on someone else's team? Mm-hmm. So don't sit at the starting gate looking around like, I don't know what to do. So my notes are like, I made notes. I'm like, oh, cross that out. Oh, nope, Lori covered that. No, Katie covered that. I knew Rosie was going to cover overcoming objections. You guys, I used to be in telemarketing, okay? When you're in telemarketing, there's somebody that writes scripts, and you have like a bridge, like, oh, I can certainly understand why you would think that, like after someone says no. And then you have a objection that you go to. So brilliant, Rosie. Everybody needs to have their, I don't have any time. They say, oh, I can totally understand that. You know what? I know you're a super busy lady, but let me ask you this question. If you tried it and you dabbled Mary Kay in your life a little bit and you loved it and you're making money at it, do you think you'd find more time for it? I've never had someone tell me no to that. They say, yeah, I probably would. Okay, great. Well, what else would keep you from doing this? So not only it's okay to expect the yes, but it's also okay to be all right if they say no because you're ready. So Rosie, love that. Katie, I love everything that you shared. I love that just y'all have done an amazing job. Each and every one of you. Selah, love your story. And Latrice, so good. Okay, so the one little thing that I have left to share that you all, I think, have not covered that I heard is asking. I know y'all said that we need to ask, but how do you ask? If you're brand new, or even if you're not brand new, this is how I still ask. I say, let's say I'm going to talk to, I'm going to talk to Susie because I always use Susie Q. And I would say, Susie, I have a big favor to ask you. This is probably the last thing that you would ever do. And I say that every time, by the way. This is probably the last thing you'd ever consider. But right now I have a goal to share the facts about Mary Kay with 5 of the sharpest women I know, and you're at the top of the list. Is there any reason you wouldn't get together with me for just like 10 or 15 minutes over the phone, just so I could give you some facts about how our business works? And like I said, might be the last thing you'd ever do, and that's totally okay. This is really just great training for me. Okay. And then that's it. And then, it's non-threatening. It's not, because when you have a dominant personality and you say, oh my gosh, I think you'd be great at this, and I want you to sign up on my team. And that leader is going, oh, hold on, back up. So you have to do it in a manner that they're going to sell themselves on it. And so I think that that's really, really important. And I know right now that there are people that we all have. I know there's one in particular that I am totally going to call tomorrow. There are people that you have that you could be asking, but you're chickening out. And so Kate, thank you for talking about that chicken list. And you guys raise the bar too. If your seeds are rotten, go get some good seeds. Like Selah's talking about, the seeds, meaning, is this person, and I'm not saying rotten. Okay, that maybe we should take that back. Maybe those seeds are not ready to be planted yet. So, if someone is just not somebody that you would probably travel to Dallas with or whatever, or if they're like completely always in struggle and strife, there's always struggle and strife going on. Make your list of people that you are intimidated by, people that are sharp, people that you think not that they need Mary Kay, but that Mary Kay needs. Who would bless other people in this business? All right. You better get your baskets out, and you better go get those Easter eggs before I do, because somebody's going to be chasing you. They're going to be going. And if you have a client that you have not offered the Mary Kay opportunity to, what if somebody else offered her that opportunity? It's really her choice on who she goes with. But if you never offered her the opportunity, it might make the decision easy for her to go with someone else. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, friends.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So this is something that I think holds us all back. It's just prejudging. We prejudge our customers because we have some great, I'm saying this to myself. I have some great customers, and I go, she wouldn't do it. I don't even give her a chance to tell me no. I go, she wouldn't do it. And then, ask her, because if that girl came into my meeting with another girl, I would be so ticked off. I can't even tell you. I'd be like, seriously, if she said, well, Cleta, you just never really asked me, and I know you're already a director with a car. I figure I'd get on her team to help her. I'm telling you what. So think about that before you pass up your own customers because you didn't ask them, and your own friends and your cousin and your nieces and your granddaughters, because you want those people on your team, not somebody else's team. And then Mary Kay used to teach us to say, like, let's say they say no. And then I might say, Well, Loree, let's make a deal. If you ever decided to do something like this, that you would call me and let me recruit you, because it would be my honor to have you on my team. Can we shake on that? That's what I'm saying. We are not giving our recruits away, right? Yes. So, all right, you guys. Well, listen, thank you. I hope you guys are empowered. I want you all, if you can, I know you can, before you go to bed tonight, just take a blank piece of paper. And I want you can pull up Facebook, you can pull up your customer list, you can pull up whatever you need to do. Get your phone, look in your phone contacts. And I don't want you to go to bed till you have 25 people on here that you're going to just offer. All you're going to do is use those words that Jana just said. And Jana, if you don't mind, maybe just type those out. And I know it's something we all should know. Just type them out in the Boss Babe Voxer group. And we will put that on there. And just her words, just basically, I know in your wildest dreams is something you probably would never do, but I've been challenged just to share the facts about Mary Kay to 5 people this week, or you might say 10, or whatever you want to say. But you have to start out with some people, because what happens is, like, I'm fired up tonight. So tonight I probably can write down some names. And a lot of us used to go to conferences together every other month in Orlando. And then what we would do is the national in charge would say, okay, y'all got an hour and a half. Let's see how many people we can recruit. And the first time I went, I was like, what does that mean? And I saw all her people were like, and I'm like, what's happening? What is everybody doing? But you know what? Like, they were fired up and they're like, oh, we got to get some recruits. So they just started calling people. And I'm like, so I just called somebody, you know what I'm saying? And I called one and I called another one before we started doing interviews. It just got to be like a recruiting frenzy. And I think one night we had like 150 bookings. And I think it seemed like it was over 100 recruits from the whole group. It was amazing. And Jenny, Loree, Sayla, y'all remember? Even Latrice. So it can happen, but we just got to get going. But I don't want you to go to bed till you have a list to start working on for this week. And of course, you're going to continue to sell into your virtual parties, do some of your own, just like Katie did tonight. But all of y'all's directors are doing them. And so it's easy to invite people to get on them, but don't send mass. I mean, you can send mass invites, but then the ones you really want, you want to text or call and go, hey, can you get on tonight? I'm trying to have 5 guests. My director challenged me to have 5 guests on our virtual, party tonight. And so I know Thursday, the Cheetahs, we're doing, and some of y'all have been joining us, we're doing back to beautiful skincare. And we're going to just cover the sets. We're going to have the miracle set, the repair set, botanical set, the acne treatment gel. The clear proof set, and we're going to just talk about all 4 sets, and then the men's set too, maybe. And then naturally, we're just going to cover them all, just the sets, no supplements, just the sets. And then we'll move on. In fact, if y'all look under digital basics, digital business basics or something like that on InTouch, there's a little square. It gives you like 6 different ideas to do for virtual parties. And the one of them says beginning skincare, and the other one says back to basics, and the other one has something about color. Anyway, it's some really cute names. So I'm going to come up with a flyer for that. But I know your director's probably doing some stuff too. But anyway, I'm super excited about this week. I just feel like it's going to be a good week. And we all know that have been in Mary Kay a long time. After recession, during the recession and things like that, when some people are losing jobs, Mary Kay, it takes a minute, but people start recruiting, and it's like massive recruiting. Like, people are jumping in the boats, and people that are ready, like the Boss Babes, you guys are going to get a lot of recruits. So I want to thank all of you. We had like 25 people on 24 people on Zoom, and a bunch of people over here on YouTube. So thank you guys. Make sure you text your own sales director and let her know that you were on the call tonight, because we want to know. And if you're watching this later, as soon as you finish it, like not next July, but like the next day or 2, text us and say, hey, I watched the call. I saw it tell us how you saw it. Did you see it on Zoom? Did you see it on YouTube? Did you see it on Facebook? Okay. And thank you to the directors. You guys look beautiful. I'm so proud to have y'all in my circle. And it's so great to see everybody and all these beautiful consultants from Michigan to all over the place. And so y'all have a phenomenal week and get ready. It's going to be an exciting week in Mary Kay. Just mark my words. All right. You guys have a great